again, and I just wanted to say or ask your opinion. Do you think that fundraising on YouTube is bad for someone who just might need it? Um, I started a poll, but I don't know what happened to it. I just wanted to know what some of your opinions are. Excuse me 1 second. And we'll wait till a few more people join us because this is an unannounced live. I already told a story how security at Scientology Harlem threatened me and my brother, but my brother just happens to be a New York City police officer. So he told me that everything that they were talking about was nonsense. I have every right to protest their building. Um, I have every right to, as long as I do it peacefully and get my point across, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Aaron gave me a position to cover New York, and between Steve and I, our coverage of West 46th Street has gained about 2,000 views between Steve and I. And about my friend Douglas or Dougie Fresh, um, that video short itself saw 7,000, 7 point or 5.7 thousand views, which I think is great. But the reason that I had to be in the position to fundraise is that after I had my stroke and heart attack and 9 pulmonary embolisms and 9 seizures, I spent most of my life savings trying to get well, from speech therapy to body therapy to just about everything that you can imagine. But I managed to put the cigarettes down because for someone who had a heart attack, cigarettes are not what you need. But I appreciate anyone who donates to my fundraiser, which you can find the page on under my community tab. The QR code is right there where you can see it, and it's just so that I can pay my doctors so I can continue to get well. It takes a long time to recover from a stroke, heart attack, and 9 pulmonary embolisms. And I don't know why my doctors didn't suggest to me blood thinners early on in the game. After my first two, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Two uh, pulmonary embolisms. Why didn't they give me um, blood thinners then to break up the blood clots that form that make their way to your heart and to your brain? I'm fortunate to be here right now, even to talk to you. So, um, I got one response to my question, but I wanted to talk about Aaron. Aaron is a kind, good-hearted soul, and when I was out in Hollywood and we had a chance to meet, um, he was very kind to me. Um, because of my stroke, I'm not able to speak as quickly as I used to, and he treated me just like anyone else. Aaron is a good guy, and I respect him, and I would not be in the presence of anyone uh, who doesn't respect him. What he had to go through as a child in this cult is deplorable. And I call it a cult because that's what it is, a cult. I had this big security guard at Scientology Harlem approach me and threaten me, telling me that if I don't stop recording at the Harlem building, um, I was gonna wind up in Rikers Island. My brother said not because of them. He wound up writing a report on that incident, telling them that they threatened um, us protesters because I had someone with me along with my brother, um, and basically um, we were both apprehensive about uh, going to Harlem anyway. Although it's right down the street from the Apollo Theater, it is an unsafe area. So I don't know why Scientology picked 125th Street to build a building, a Scientology building, but they're steering uh, my community the wrong way. Um, they don't want to be involved in any cult, and I'm sure the majority of them don't even know when they go there that's what they're signing up for. Aaron needs to do a live, and I left him a message on his cell phone, um, telling him that he should do a live on the Harlem building alone. They haven't been so nice to us since we started live streaming in New York City. Um, so far, we've only showed um, the building on West 46th Street. Both Steve and I broadcast from there, and I got the police called on me, but the police didn't respond to my call. Just some guy in a yellow uh, public Times Square public safety jacket responded, telling me that he got a call from the church saying someone was in front of the building panhandling. All I did was go to the pizza shop, get me a slice of pizza, and stay out front for about an hour and videotape and tried to interview people going in and out of the building. I wanted to know if people lived there, which apparently they do. So they are a full-fledged Scientology building, like the buildings in Hollywood, but they're spread apart in Hollywood. They have a recruitment center. They have a place where the members live at another location. They have even David Miscavige lives in a house provided by Scientology. Aaron showed it on one of his live streams. Yeah, David Miscavige lives there, and he was trying to avoid being served. He was trying to evade the legal process to save his ass. But Miscavige and Scientology is going down. They will lose their tax exempt status. They will ultimately get rid of David Miscavige. And I hope that all this happens soon. But there's only a couple people in my chat right now. I wanted to make a final asking of the donation to my fundraiser. What you did for DOA and Chris, Confident Chris, I thought was excellent. But I also have a fundraiser. I don't want to bother Aaron to death by calling him every 5 minutes, asking him if he would throw up my fundraiser, my GoFundMe page. I put it up under my community tab. All you have to do is scan it with your phone and you'll see the information. So again, I ask, is it bad to fundraise on YouTube? I need it to keep and continue to get better. Doctors in this country don't work for free. It costs a whole lot of money to recover from a stroke. And I was telling the story of my friend Sinbad, the comedian who also had a stroke in 2020, and he had 10 million in the bank, and it all went to his rehab and recovery from his stroke. He's no longer a millionaire. So whatever your heart leads you to give, I would not say no. I would say thank you for your concern, your compassion, and caring. As I look, I find that I have quite a few live streams. But I wanted my brother to tell me that live streaming from Harlem was going to be okay, and the threats that were received by their big giant goon like security was just BS, just to scare me away. But they can't scare me away. I'm in the process of making a schedule where people who have volunteered to cover New York City's three major buildings on West 46th Street, on 125th Street, and the Celebrity Center. And I say I'm scheduling 2 people at a time to cover, and the amount of time that I'm gonna put us down to live stream is between 8 to 12 hours Monday through Friday, and during the weekend we can rest. But it takes a lot of work and a lot of organizational skills to put all this together successfully. But I'm doing the best that I can, and I wouldn't be in a position to do the best that I can if I couldn't speak. And I couldn't speak after my stroke. Uh, if you think that my speech is bad now, you really should have heard me after I had my stroke. It was quite bad. But I thank you for stopping by this evening, and I'm not ready to go. As long as people keep popping in and popping out, um, I will tell more stories. Um, Also, under my community tab, I want you to see Aaron's detailed story uh, by Kelly Copter. It's called The Receipts. I have it posted under my community tab. Watch that. It tells of Aaron's arrest and how he gave me his equipment while he was still live streaming, who in turn I gave to Surge because they ran to get in their cars and drive down to the office. I'm disabled, so I couldn't run with them, but it was an awful day to see Aaron get arrested, um, especially after talking him to death. He was live streaming to his audience, to all 240,000 of his subscribers, um, and the sergeant had him sign a complaint against Patrick Henry, the man who attacked Aaron. And he said that if you filed this citizen's arrest, we have to charge you with felony stalking. Now, what kind of bullshit is that? Aaron gave me the camera to show him give his John Hancock on the complaint, but Aaron showed no fear. He said, if you have to arrest me, then so be it. But again, I urge you strongly to watch Kelly Copter's The Receipts, and that will give you a detailed on our day in Hollywood about 5 weeks ago now. Maybe about 4.5. I don't quite remember, because I've had to go and join, but I didn't have enough followers to live stream. Aaron is totally responsible for that as well. He put me in charge of New York City. So I want to do him proud, and I want my content to be something that you will be proud of. Yes, I do. I'd like you to be proud of the content that I provide on this channel. So I'm gonna call it, uh, maybe not a night. I might be back a little later if something comes to mind. But Aaron got my messages. If he's interested in any of the ideas that I have, he knows my telephone number. So I'll wish you, to those of you that don't come back, a good night, because there's a lot of people live tonight, and I am near the bottom of the barrel when it comes to watch. I'm sure people would rather watch Confident Chris or Danny's channel or DOA, the lore of DOA, any of those lives from Hollywood. But I'm gonna make New York City just as on fire as Hollywood is. Mark my words, Dr. Reggie will make New York City hopping just like Hollywood. And I'm already in the process of doing that. So, with that, I hope that you enjoy the content that we as a collective community against Scientology enjoy the content that we provide now, just live streaming, and the content that we will provide live streaming and doing edited pieces. Let me see, I got a few questions. Oh, good. Hey, I sent you an email this morning about 10 protests likely lost. About April 10 protests. Is that in New York City? Or what city is that in? I'm gonna check my emails again. I've been getting so many. Um, they're kind of hard to keep up with. But what city is the protest in likely lost? Because I'm interested in not only uh, broadcasting it, um, because I did learn how to put stuff up in the corner of the screen or anywhere on the screen through my computer. Yeah, I talked to you yesterday about me and my husband going to Manhattan. Oh, I remember you. Yes, I do. Um, well, we'll protest together on April 10th when you come to New York City. I'd love to have you. And I'll see if my bro is working that day. Hopefully he'll be off. It'll be much better for us if we're in the company of an off-duty New York City police officer. Um, it will uh, help keeping us from getting arrested. Like 125th Street, Scientology Harlem threatened me with. But when my brother told him, you need to slow your roll, hold up, big man. That's my big brother that you're talking to. And he has every right to protest Scientology along with his friends. So you can take your smack talk, and I won't repeat I will repeat it. He said you can take your smack talk and shove it up your big ass because all you're talking is bullshit. You're not following the laws of this city. My brother has a right to protest you 24/7 if he so chooses. And his friends do too. And if I find that any of them are arrested or detained like Hollywood. I personally know the mayor of New York City. Let me just read what Likely Loss has to say because it's important. Yeah, we had a nice talk. Oh, yeah, it would be great. Extra protection. Yes, my brother would be uh, all the protection that we need. An off duty police officer coming to our protest with us. I don't blame you, Likely Loss, and all your post says is, yeah, I just want to stay on 46, I think, LOL. Yeah, well, they're not so uh, kind anymore either. Uh, they're not in Harlem, but they're on to us now. They know that we're live streaming, and they call the police and tell them lies, like I'm panhandling in front of their building, which they knew was a damn lie. Yeah, that's the best that they could do is come up with I'm panhandling in front of their building. I think that was horrible. Um, but I didn't get arrested. The officer I talked to, I was respectful to him. I apologized. I explained to me that they actually invited me in, gave me a ticket to watch some brainwashy movie. Um, yes, I have gone to the New York City Celebrity Center. I'm editing uh, that material right now. Um, I didn't run into my friend Douglas because I don't know if he's in Hollywood or New York, but he's in one of the two. Um, and people know who Dougie Fresh is um, for years now. He's the human beatbox, and he's been a friend of mine since 1981. And for him to just drop us, no good. He's a Scientologist. Dougie Fresh is a Scientologist. Google it and put Doug, DOUGE, Fresh in, and you will find that he is a Scientologist for years now. Let me see. Let me see. Oh my gosh. Free Dougie Fresh. Um, yeah, I think that Douglas has always been a smart man, and I was very good friends with his mother when she was alive. I have an admiration for older women who raise these children by themselves and I became just as good friends with Douglas's mother, who just happened to die from dementia. Um, but I know she would not approve of Douglas joining this cult. So, yes, free Dougie Fresh. And I know that you are watching my videos, Douglas. Um, I mention you in just about every one. And people come back and watch these videos. Um, but my plan is from April 1st on through the rest of the year is plan on having someone cover all three organization buildings, 125th, 40 West 46, and the Celebrity Center, 8 to 12 hours per day. And I suggest we move around in groups, because number one, we don't want to wind up in Rikers Island. That would it has to be awful. I mean, imagine a prison with 30,000 inmates in it. I mean, a lot of cities in America don't have towns with 30,000 people in it. And this is just the jail. When you fly back into New York, you fly over and get a picturesque view, like the video that I put out, the short that I put out with one of the Doors songs, break on through to the other side. But this one was sung by Eddie Vedder, uh, and not Jim Morrison. Um, you get a lovely view from the new Times Square, and I miss the old, not Times Square, but the tallest building in New York City, the World Trade Center. I miss the old World Trade Center, and I just happened to be flying back from Miami on 9/11 in 2021, and I just missed all of that by a half an hour, maybe 32 minutes. I flew from Miami to Newark, took the shuttle bus from Newark into Manhattan, went home, hopped in the shower, and when I turned on the TV, I saw planes going into the buildings. It was horrible. I thought the world was ending. But I blame the flight instructors in Florida, because who in the fuck can say, let me go and say, I want to learn how to take off in a plane. but don't teach me how to land and see if my black ass don't wind up in jail. Excuse me, I have a potty mouth when I get angry, but I don't know if 9/11 could have been prevented, but speaking of Scientology, they blame us psychologists and psychiatrists and nurse practitioners for everything. They blame us for 9/11. They blame us for the Holocaust. They blame psychiatry for everything, which I think is absolute total bullshit. Is the Celebrity Center close to 46? Um, Likely Lost. The Celebrity Center is on 82nd Street, so it's a good little ways from uh, the Midtown building. It's a good little ways, but it's still accessible. I wouldn't advise anyone, if you're gonna be with me, I use a car service in Manhattan. Um, we could ride to the Celebrity Center together, um, in my car. In that video that you may have seen of me coming back from the doctor in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, you may have noticed us on the BQE, or the Brooklyn Queens Expressway, and I tried to narrate as much as I could. Over to the side was the Statue of Liberty. I wanted you guys to see the Statue of Liberty. To us New Yorkers, seeing stuff like that is just commonplace. But New York is so big, you're still amazed. But that's how we tell tourists from non-tourists, because tourists do this. They look up at the buildings, and that's how people target people to rob in New York City. So whatever you do, Likely Lost, don't look up at the buildings to see how tall they are. That's a dead giveaway that you're from out of town, and that you might be a target to have your purse snatched by these criminals. Yeah, L. Ron Hubbard was a huge nutcase. You might say he was a successful science fiction writer, but he based a religion on it, on one of his stories. I mean, Xenu, come on now. Xenu is non-existent. And when you die, I believe you wait for Judgment Day. I know if you watch channels like the Travel Channel, uh, they show pictures of poltergeists uh, destroying houses, but those are demons. What you see on the Travel Channel, most of those are demons or people who have not crossed over yet. I have on a shirt that says, I can't read it because it's backwards, but it's a paranormal t-shirt that Shane Pittman from the Netflix series, um, what's it called? 30, I forget the name of the series, but it stars Shane Pittman and um, these videos that you see on the Travel Channel, they're very much real because I've witnessed spirits. Um, and as a man of science, I can't explain what I saw. They show spirits wrecking people's houses. 28 Days Haunted. Um, I was gonna post a picture of Shane Pittman and the big fella who is the firefighter um, in the series because I went to a convention and a paranormal convention and Shane was there. He was very nice to me. I have so many pictures on this phone of us together. It's not even funny. But you're right. Thank you so much, Likely Lost. 28 Days Haunted. I enjoyed that because I know that it's the truth. The Bible states that the dead know nothing, but I believe that's one interpretation. Um, the dead who haven't crossed over or demonic entities, um, they use physical energy, um, and before there was electricity, they used the energy from the earth, from the air, uh, to gain their power, to move stuff around, open drawer doors, uh, to slam doors shut, to open doors. Um, so spiritual entities are very much real. Um, Shane and I had a very long discussion. Um, I said, "Aren't you scared of being possessed?" Um, I was over at the Vatican in December. Um, had the time of my life, and I was only there to see the Coliseum because out of the 62 countries that I visited, um, I've only been to Milan, Italy. I said, I'm going to Rome after I go to Paris, which I've been more times than I care to admit. But 28 Days Haunted was very good. And some of the a lot of the programming on the Travel Channel is good. They always don't have spiritual based programming. On Sundays and Mondays, they have like Bigfoot, which I believe they should leave Bigfoot alone or send Bigfoot to the Scientology building and let him go to work on those crazy efforts. Yeah, send Bigfoot to Scientology, West 46th Street. I'd like to see Bigfoot go in there and tear the place apart. Then go to L. Ron Hubbard's house, send a Yeti to David Miskovich's house and beat him the way he beats his staff. And then Bigfoot can just tear his head off. Gosh, I am talking really violent tonight. Speaking of the Travel Channel, I believe all of that, and I know it to be true. Yes, and Bigfoot to Scientology. Yes, send Bigfoot to Scientology. Absolutely. Likely lost. And let him do his work. Well, the man that they sent to threaten my brother and I, he was almost as big as Bigfoot. He looked like Bigfoot with his big giant beard, and he must have weighed at least 400 and something pounds easily. So he was pretty intimidating. Osa sent someone out for y'all. I think that because Aaron included me in the Scientology fold, I have more people watching me now. I believe they have their private investigators watching my live streams, and I believe that they have them watching me enter and leave my apartment in Midtown. I believe they have them watch my house in Westchester. And I'm not even a big threat to them. I don't have the same power that Aaron has. I have nowhere near the same power that Aaron has. Aaron can suggest to his followers to follow such and such, and I put it under my community tab, and I said, Aaron is one hell of a man. Yes, excuse me 1 second. I'm doing a live right now. People can hear you. Could you, please let me finish? Oh my gosh. I'm, taking care of her, uh, is a job, but she has 8 kids, and we all take turns looking after her. She was, and she still is, the best mother. I'm 56, and I'm blessed to have a mother that's still alive. Maybe that's why Douglas decided to become a Scientologist, because his mom passed away from dementia, and my mom is still here. But there's a song that uh, Dougie Fresh is known for called The Show, and then another song with Slick Rick entitled Lottie Dottie. Those are, I would say, his biggest hits. But he even had me in one of his videos called All the Way to Heaven. We did that video. I was with my colleague, Paulette Cunningham of the Fever Records, who managed people like Run DMC, the Fat Boys, the Beastie Boys. Paulette managed them all, and I assisted manage them back when I was real young. Um, but Douglas had me in a video called All the Way to Heaven, which indicates if he did a song entitled All the Way to Heaven, that means that he must believe in God, or he used to believe in God before Scientology and Tom Cruise caught his ear. Tom Cruise Tom Cruise can dance. I will give him that. Um, in that movie, um, what movie was it where when they were doing the credits, Tom Cruise was dancing, and dude has soul. He can dance better than a lot of black and Latino folks. Hopefully one day he'll find his way back to God. I pray Douglas will. I even forgot that I was even in that video, in 1986. The album, and you'll see me in the credits of that album because I even sung background on it. Um, on All the Way to Heaven. Um, it was his follow up to um, the show in Lottie Dottie. Um, but Snoop Dogg has remade Dougie Fresh's songs. A lot of artists have remade and sampled from Douglas. But on Snoop Dogg's solo first solo album, he remade Lottie Dottie. So Douglas is a legend, and Snoop himself acknowledged that fact. But I'm sure Snoop don't know that he's a Scientologist, the member of a cult now. Let's see what else you have to say. I'm going to look up the video. I gotta head out though. It's getting late. Good night. Thank you for stopping by, Likely Lost. It is getting late. And I'm gonna go on and hit the hay myself. I've been live streaming for just over an hour. And I'm gonna go to bed now. So, respect, much respect to each and every one of you. To those of you that contribute to my medical fund, emergency medical fund, I should say. The QR code to donate is right under my community tab, as well as the video, the receipts, Aaron's video. So you all have a good night, and I shall see you the next time.